Welcome back, everybody, to our Dodgers playthrough. I think we're going to call this, I don't know, colloquially, burning down LA. I kind of like that idea because either way we win. We either burn this team down and we win a World Series with our own team, or we burn the Dodgers down and it is... it cannot be saved. It's just destroyed. Farm system, active roster, everything just to shit and back. So either way we win. So I'm excited to do this. But if you're joining us for the first time, what we are doing is we are trading everyone on the active roster. Everybody on the active roster, poof, gone. No exceptions. There are 2 players that I found out that we're going to have to cut because they will not take a trade to any team. So we'll have to do that near the very end. But we're going to trade everybody else who's on the active roster. Like I said, I know I keep repeating myself, but I just want to make it clear. Everybody. Bullpen. Rotation. Lineup. And if you're with us last episode, you saw us trade Cody Bellinger for Mackenzie Gore and Chris Paddock. So, and you will see what the impact that has to our farm system already. We go to front office, player development. You can see Mackenzie Gore, the 3rd ranked prospect in all of baseball. So, there's going to be some deals that we're probably not going to get the value that we could. Because for a couple reasons. One, we have to trade everybody, so there's only so many farm systems that have great players, and only so many teams can take some of the big salaries that we're trading. We're going to have to keep a big portion of quite a few salaries, but I went through painstakingly. Well, I shouldn't say painstakingly. I thought it was kind of fun. Went through and figured out the trades for everyone on our active roster to achieve max value. So we're going to go through those for the next probably 3 episodes, including this one. But I wanted to spend the time today talking through the one trade that I could not decide what to do and make a decision on that. So this was actually the last person I went to trade, and it was the one that I couldn't come to a good conclusion on. So, and if you hear me sniffle, if you hear me hear my voice change a little bit, it's because I am a little bit sick, a little under the weather. It's not COVID, don't worry. Had my vaccine. Hopefully it doesn't trigger anybody. But, so the person that we're going to trade, and the last person I looked at trading here was Trevor Bauer, and he creates a complicated scenario because he has a huge salary this year. If we go to front office and we look at salaries, he has $38 million, and he has an opt-out. So, I mean, I believe it is a player opt-out. I could be wrong there. Let's check his contract. Player opt-out, 2 years. I remember the time he signed this, it was like, wow, this could be he's betting on himself, but this could work out, great in his favor if he pitches well. So when we're talking about keeping salary for him, do we run the risk of maybe him opting out after this year? Then I believe we're off the hook, or do we have to factor in the worst case scenario, which is we have to pay out all 3 years, $38 million, $32 million, $32 million. So that's what makes it so complicated is, are we going to value the financial flexibility, or are we going to value the players that we get in return for him? So with the teams that can provide us financial flexibility, they're very few, because very few teams can take on that big of a contract or have that much room. Everyone's kind of tight up against the cap. So I even made a little grid to figure out who I should go because I couldn't decide. It was too hard. So we're going to go to transactions, and we're going to go to player trade, and we're going to choose the one option that is probably my least favorite out of all 4, but does allow. Well, I shouldn't say least favorite. I got my options confused here. The deal that will allow us the most financial flexibility. So we're gonna go take a look at the Red Sox. This is the one that will provide us the most flexibility. We can trade Trevor Bauer in association with, a minor leaguer here or there for Tanner Houck. So in my little grid I made, he's the 34th overall prospect. My little grid I made, I count him as a potential stud pitcher. And we receive from some financial flexibility. Not a lot, but we're talking a difference of $10 million here. $10 million each year. That could mean a lot. So we're not going to get anything really back. We can't get anything back because they want us to trade it more. I feel like the value is not there in this trade. But this one, I believe, gives us the most financial flexibility, trading him to the Red Sox. Tanner Houck, I might have said Trevor before. Tanner Houck, young pitcher. And for pitchers, I know I said I'm not going to trade for anyone who has more than 80. That's another thing, too. I'm not trading for anyone who has more than 81 games played in the major leagues. For pitchers, hey, less than 15, for a reliever, 20 appearances, you're good. For a starting pitcher, less than, like a half year played, so like 15 starts, that qualifies as good enough. I don't really have a hard science to that. But Tanner Houck kind of, he fits into that mold there. Good ratings overall. We look at the scouting reports, which aren't, we can't really trust too much because the accuracy is only average from OSA. From our head scout, it's low. So, we can't really trust too much about that. You look at the ratings, pretty good. Definitely some room to grow. 34th overall prospect in the major leagues. I think he definitely has a chance to be a rotation arm, but as you see in the trades we're going to make, we're going to get quite a few of those. So the thing that we're paying for here is really financial flexibility, but it's not an incredible amount. It's not like we're going to get away with nothing. Actually, hold on, is it maybe okay? Let's see if we do. Yeah, see, even if we lower it to 45% and maybe save ourselves about $20 million, a little over $20 million, we're not going to really be able to close. We might have to just spam it with prospects here, which maybe we should do that because that might lean it a little bit more in that in the favor of this deal if we're going to save $20 million. So it looks like we're getting close here. A couple of these guys we have in different other deals where you can't include them in there. But if we just say like Michael Bush, yeah, see, we can get away with some. So we're saving ourselves $20 million for Tanner Houck. So that's the first option. The second option is a little similar, but we're going to have to keep the most of the salary here because we're going to, well, actually maybe this is better than I thought. If we throw some prospects or a prospect their way, we can save, a little more money, less prospects going out the door, but we get Jordan Adams, who I consider he's the 90th ranked prospect overall, but he's a lottery ticket, I feel like. And again, our scouting accuracy is not the best right now. We just hired a new scout, so we're going to have to supplement this with our real life knowledge. Our real life knowledge is pretty much the same, unless, again, I'm missing something, but he's pretty much a lottery ticket, but one that has very, very high upside. So we're saving $20 million by getting rid of Trevor Bauer and only eating 40% of his salary. So, again, I don't know if I necessarily like it from we're getting less back. I feel like more of a, at least Tanner Houck is a relatively established prospect with a pretty decent floor, and he's pitched well this year in real life. Jordan Adams still has a way to go. I believe he's only like 18 or 19. Okay, 21. Never mind. 21. But he still has a way to develop his bat, plus on the bases, plus in the field, but still not a sure thing. And that's kind of what we're paying for there, is the ability, is we're paying for, or I should say, we aren't being charged out the wazoo for Jordan Adams because he's not a sure thing. So the other two that I really like because it brings back such a haul. This is my not my first. This isn't my favorite one. This is my second favorite. So it's the Minnesota Twins. And here's the downside: we have to take on 100% of the salary for Bauer, but in return, we get to really fill up our position players in terms of prospects. So we're adding three. We could add in this deal 3 top 100 prospects. First, Trevor Larnach, the number 90 or the 91st prospect overall. He's had a pretty good minor league career up until this point. All of his ratings look pretty good. Looks like he's probably going to be a league average, maybe a little bit better hitter. Nothing really great in the field, so just kind of average all around. Suitable or just a dependable maybe first baseman, right fielder, whatever position he settles at. And then we have Alex Kirilloff, who, if you followed our Pirates playthrough, had he came up with some big hits for us near the end of that playthrough, but he was at that point like 30-some years old, I believe. Here we can get him when he's 23. He's a 38th ranked prospect, Pittsburgh native. He does have a little bit of flexibility in the outfield. His hit tool can still develop a little bit, but this is pretty much in line with what we had as the Pirates. So he's had a very good career so far, posting, 3 wins of WAR and 2 out of his 3 stops in the minors. So he has the makings of an above-average player for sure. So that will bring him back, and then Aaron Sabato. He hasn't played anything yet. 81 ranked prospect, high ceiling in terms of power. We like him a little bit less than OSA does, and I feel like what we're getting here is like a Nelson Cruz almost, where he's probably not going to have long for the field, and if you have a place for him in the lineup, great. If not, I don't know what you're going to do with him if there's no DH. So that's the other one. And then just some filler here at the end. Travis Blankenhorn, pretty good ratings overall. Flexibility here on where he can play. Most outfield spots and most infield spots. Dangerous on the base paths. And then good ratings as well from him. So, again, he's not a highly ranked prospect, but someone that I think could have a good impact on the team. Jose Miranda, high potential here. And by here I mean at the plate. Not necessarily great on the base paths or great second and third base. So don't really know what that upside's like for him. He's 22, Double-A. I know it's not the end of the world, but maybe he doesn't have that major league talent. So, here I classified them as, you're getting 2 regulars, I feel like, Trevor Larnach and Alex Kirilloff. Kirilloff, borderline, maybe a superstar. Sabato, lottery ticket. The other guys kind of lottery tickets as well. So we're getting quantity, and if we're only looking at the top 100, prospect list, I feel like this is the way to go. But the other thing that can be said for the Angels, the Twins, the Red Sox, does anyone guess what they have in common right now? That's right. They are in the American League. So if we're going to try to make this easier for ourselves, we want to try to trade with as many American League teams as we can. Now, I know I broke that by trading our first trade being to the Padres, not even an NL team, but an NL West team. But overall, we'd like to try to stick to the AL as much as we can so that we don't have to see any of these players until the World Series if we get there. So that's my second favorite option. But I don't know. My favorite option, though, is the Marlins. And here's why. We have to this isn't why it's my favorite option. We have to take 100% of the salary on, which stinks. We have to give up Michael Grove and Michael Bush. Not the end of the world from a prospect perspective. I think we'll be fine with letting both of them go, especially with the hauls that we're going to get back. Michael Bush has, good potential at the plate, but again, 23 years old, just starting his Double-A. So, and maybe I guess that's normal. I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I guess that's normal. But if I'm trading away Trevor Bauer, I guess if I'm looking for dynamic players, I want players who are going to move quickly through the process and make an impact quickly. So the reason I like this is because, one, we get our boy J.J. Bleday from the Pirates playthrough, who had some excellent seasons for us, and you'll see here he's the number 48 overall prospect in the top 100. So he definitely can hit these ceilings here for his bat. We saw him do it. He could definitely play better defense. We saw him do that. And he can be a little bit more dangerous on the base paths. Again, we saw him do that. So I think those ratings, because the accuracy is only average, or maybe hurting him a little bit. But who else we get, I think, two potential stud pitchers. One, we also had Trevor Rogers in our playthrough, and he has 7 games of Major League experience, so he kind of fits into what we're looking for. He was a stud closer for a number of years for us at the Buccos. I know that we use him as a starter at times, which I still don't really like that we did that. But he has the ability to be a high-end reliever. Worst case scenario, be a great reliever. So I like that. Dax Fulton definitely could turn out to be a complete stud. 6'6" lefty, age 19, 92, 94 on the gun. Again, the accuracy, these ratings, who knows? He has not made any overall prospect lists, but I believe that after this year he could. The guy just has stud ratings all around. So that I feel like is great. And then Zach Pop. He does not have any major league experience, but if you look at his 18 and 19 stats over Double-A, this is the stats of a guy I feel like who's ready to take the next step. He definitely didn't struggle by any means in 18, but in 19 he pitched pretty well. He improved his peripheral stats. And even had a worse luck in terms of BABIP. And his ratings are very high. So I feel like an extreme ground baller, which I love. I love ground ball pitchers, even though I haven't really paid attention to that much in the Pirates playthrough. I kind of went for power pitchers there just because that's what Rocker was, Kumar Rocker, when we had him. But so I still don't know. Even after talking through it, I still don't know what I want to do. To be honest, after talking through the Miami option, I like it a little bit less. Not going to lie. And I feel like I was coming into this video thinking that I was going to take that Miami option. But walking through that, I'm not sure I like it. And the big reason is because of the salary. We have to take 100% of it on to make it work. So, okay, we're not going to do the Miami one. I'm crossing off my little spreadsheet here. We're not doing that. And we're not going to do the Minnesota one either because there's too many unknowns here, and we have to keep the whole salary. The one I'm really thinking about here is Tanner Houck, is the Red Sox one, because we're getting a relatively known commodity. The 34th overall ranked prospect. I believe he might be the highest number prospect that's on this. I believe he's higher than even Jordan Adams. I think Jordan Adams, he's in the 90s. So I don't really see a downside to this Red Sox deal. We get someone who we know is as known commodity as you can get at this point. Not much variation in between his current and potential ratings. Decent stamina, good pitcher. 34th prospect rating, and we get to save money, about $20 million, which we're going to have to eat a lot of salary here coming up with a couple of these trades to make them work. So I'm trying to save. I know it might not make sense right now. Like, well, why do you care so much about, this, this dollar amount here, this dollar amount here? It's because in the upcoming, in our upcoming videos, we're going to trade we're going to eat quite a bit of money here. So I'm just scrolling through here, seeing the best way we can do this. Yeah, we're probably giving up a little bit much, to be honest. But just seeing if there's anyone who I'm ready to give up here. I believe I was just looking at it earlier. Okay. We'll give up Andres Noriega. So we'll do that. And that should get us Hauk. Can we remove Grove, though? Just out of curiosity. What can we add in to make it work? Amaya. Jacob Amaya. Looks decent. We'd rather not give up Michael Grove. Jimmy Lewis. Okay. All right, we'll give up Jimmy. So now we get to save. Let's see how far we can go down. How much can we save? All right, so we get to save about $20 million on this. We get a bona fide prospect. It's not the volume haul, but we're also not. We're giving ourselves more financial flexibility here. So I am going to make the trade, and this will be our second trade. So we're trading Trevor Bauer, maintaining 50% of his salary. We're trading Jimmy Lewis, Michael Bush, Andres Noriega for Tanner Hauk. Michael Bush, probably the most noteworthy name of those prospects there. I believe he was a recent draftee by them, correct? I'm not sure. Yeah, 17 or 19 it looks like. Yeah. So we're getting Tanner Hauk in return, who could, with the arms that we're about to get in these trades that I think a lot are going to excite you all, we're not going to really need him to be a stud. And we're not, and that also brings up a good point that we're not really getting 100% known commodities back here. They're all high-level prospects that could turn out, could not turn out. But, with worst-case scenario, you think you have Mackenzie Gore, Tanner Hauk, and Chris Paddock. That's a pretty good start to the rotation, even if no one coming up that we trade for pans out. That's still a good 3 starters. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make that trade here. We're going to complete it, and that's going to be the episode. And I'm interested to see our budget space available goes way up, and I'm interested to see what that does to our popularity, if anything. Nope, 97. We looks like all right. So we had the Sima Day so that I could shop some more players, but we lost our first one. So the teardown is well underway. Bellinger gone, Trevor Bauer gone, and just wait to see what comes next, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to be a wild ride. So thanks for sticking with us here. I look forward to seeing you all on the next episode where we really start tearing down the Dodgers roster. So peace out. I will talk to you all later. See ya.